Hey guys, Jem here with another book review. This time I'm going to be reviewing Insurgent by Veronica Roth. I rated a 9.5 out of 10 and I loved it. I don't have the physical book with me. I have it on my iPad, so I read the ebook version. But here's the cover for all you people out there. And I'll read the synopsis off of Goodreads. Fighting for survival in a shattered world, the truth is her only hope. The thrilling, dark sequel to #1 New York Times bestseller Divergent. I've done bad things. I can't take them back, and they are part of who I am. Tris has survived a brutal attack on her former home and family, but she has paid a terrible price. Racked by grief and guilt, she becomes ever more reckless as she struggles to accept her new future. Yet, if Tris wants to uncover the truth about her world, she must be stronger than ever because more shocking choices and sacrifices lie ahead. Alright, so I rate this book a 9.5 out of 10. I absolutely loved it. I only started the book yesterday, and I was able to finish it today. And again, I absolutely loved it. Just like the first book, but this one contained more dark secrets and grief, distraught, and people starting to not trust each other and distrust and everything. Warning, spoilers, just to say. So, in the beginning, Tris is racked by grief. Her and the others who escaped to Amity are at the Amity compound. She's racked by grief because she had to kill one of her best friends, Will, in the last book, because he was under the simulation. And so now, here they are in Amity. She tries to keep it a secret, but it won't become a secret for much longer. And then the Erudite and the Dauntless traitors find them at Amity and they escape. All of them, the Abnegation, the ones who, the others who aren't Abnegation that escaped with them. So they escape and they head to the Factionless on the train. And they meet Edward again, the guy who was stabbed in the eye with a butter knife by Peter in the first book. And then left to become factionless with his girlfriend Myra, who leaves him soon after because of how much he changed. And she, being the gentle nature she is, left him. Which I kind of feel bad for him, sort of, because they were a really good couple. But, enough of that. Then they meet with the factionless, and apparently Tobias's, aka 4, Tobias's mother, who was supposed to be dead, because they had a whole funeral for her, is alive, and she's the leader of the factionless. So it's whoa, what? I went to her funeral and she's alive? Yes, I know, crazy. But Tobias got a message from her a year prior to the book series, is when he got a message from his mother telling him who she was and to meet with her so that she could see that it's really her. So he could see that it's really her. And he does, and he knew that she was the one that wanted to meet with them in the Factionless compound. Well, they don't have a compound, they're just in the Factionless area. Sorry about that. Tris thought that Tobias was keeping a secret from her. She starts to she's a little bit wary of the mother because of how she puts herself in the position. And apparently Tobias's mother was going to be publicly exiled by Marcus and the rest of the Abnegation, so she just left and went to live with the Factionalists. And then they live with actually, Peter and Marcus are missing. Peter and Marcus have run away, with the rest of the others into the city, while Tris, Tobias, Caleb, and Susan run toward the train track to go to the Factionless. And Peter reunites with the Erudite, and he goes on to their side again, which is like, oh my god. But before this, back on the Amity compound, Triss pushes Peter out of the way of getting killed. So it's like, save that for now, because that's going to be like a key point that helps later on. I can't talk today. And so they're in the factionless compound, they got clothes, they got all this stuff. And then they go to the Candor headquarters, the Merciless Mart. And so they find all the other Dauntless who are the good guys. And they find out some aren't there. And then Christina's there. And they have to... Triss and Tobias are the ones that went to the headquarters. And they have to go under the truth serum. Everybody finds out who Tobias really is, and why he went to Dauntless, and then they start calling him the rest of the Dauntless start calling him a coward later because he went to Dauntless to escape his father, because his father was abusive. Like, I don't respect people like that, man. Like, really. Your own son. But, and Tobias's mother left Tobias with his father because she thought he would be better off with Marcus. So that's why she left him there and didn't take him with her. And there, when Triss is under the serum, she's able to fight off the serum for a little bit. But then she just decides to, like, let it out what her biggest regret was. Her biggest regret was shooting Will. Christina was there with Tobias and everybody else. And Christina's, like, so freaking totally, like, pissed off and feels betrayed. And Tobias does a little bit, too. And so things just start to get a little bit out of control. Her friendship with Christina falls out a little bit. But then Uriah, Marlene, and Lynn, like, all understand that she had to shoot Will for the sake of the war. And so her relationship with Christina is, like, on a thread right now. And then so during their stay in the Candor compound, Jack Kang, who is the leader of the Candor, meets with Max, one of the Dauntless leaders. And so they make a deal. They were trying to negotiate, Janine was, and because before the Erudite and the Dauntless traders had put an attack on the Merciless Mart to find out who was Divergent and who wasn't. And they captured Eric because Triss was able to stab him and everything. And they tried to negotiate. Things don't go out well. Max dies. Eric dies. And then a lot of people just die in this one. But near the end, like, I'm skipping over a lot. But near the end of this, like, no. Tobias and Triss's relationship is really strained at the moment because of all the secrets they're keeping from each other. Triss gives herself up to the Erudite because of the simulation that Janine had implanted with the others during the attack on the Merciless Mart. And, like, there's this, like, blue vein thing, and it's like, it's a transmitter that causes a simulation. And Janine finally found a way to do a simulation that's, like, long-lasting. And so Marlene dies, and she makes, like, 3 of the ones, because they are back in the Dauntless compound. They're living in the Dauntless compound again. And 3 of the members, not members, but Marlene, Hector, who is Lynn's younger brother, and a young Dauntless girl, are under simulation. And they're about to throw themselves off. And Christina gets Triss to see what the message was. And it was like, hello, this is for the Divergent. And it's all like, this will happen every night until one of you gives themselves up. And so Marlene they were able to save the young Dauntless girl and able to save Hector, but they couldn't save Marlene. And Marlene and Uriah were like together at the time, and Marlene dies. And in the end of the book, Lynn dies too, but we find out that Lynn loves Marlene, but like in love with her. But Lynn dies in the end, which is sad. I wish I could have seen the relationship between Marlene and Lynn more, But then Tris gives herself up. She's about to die, because they went through like all these experiments. Tobias gives himself up too, because he wants to be with Tris. And Peter actually helps them escape, because he's all like, oh, we're even now since you saved my life back at the Amity compound from being shot to death. And so he's like, he's still a coward. They go back to the factionalists who are living in the abnegation section, and Christina and Tris and Marcus escape to the Amity, tell them the situation, what their plan is to the Erudite, and then the three of them, along with Fernando, who is an Erudite initiate, and Kara, who's Will's older sister. At this point, Christina and Tris's relationship is good right at the moment, and they infiltrate the Erudite headquarters. The ones who were under the simulation, like the Candors were under the simulation, they only like respond to movement. So they were there, like with guns and everything, like just surrounding and guarding the building. And they were able to get in by climbing over the alley with a ladder on the 3rd-story floor. And Fernando dies, and he's the one, and before this, he calls them Insurgent, which is how they got the name for the book. Let's skip forward a little bit, and they find the computer. Janine dies because Tori kills her, and they think that, Tris is a war criminal now, and, like, the factionalists were going to double-crossed the Dauntless. But then Tobias and Caleb and Marcus find the video file that tells the truth, like the big bad truth that changes everything. That's literally how they say it, that changes everything. And it shows that this woman, her name is Amanda Ritter, and she tells them and shows them pictures of all the things that have happened and like how humanity's like starting to change. And she's all like, once the abundance of Divergent has like accumulated, then the Amity are to open the gates forever. And she said that to tell you the truth of this, I will leave behind my home, my memories, my name, and I will take on a new life with you all. And she's like, my name will be Edith Pryor. And she is, she's Tris's mother, which makes me feel so sad. And I'm like, oh my god, Tris's mother was the one that made this, like, this entire society? I'm like, oh my god, and she just dies, like, in the first book. And I'm just, like, so sad now. So, that's all that happens in this book, at least. You can go into more detail, read the book, if you've already read the book. Tell me how you liked it. Tell me your thoughts down below in the comments. And don't forget to favorite, like, and subscribe. Alright, and right now, the book I'm going to be reading next is called Boyfriends with Girlfriends by Alex Sanchez. I've heard some good things, I've heard some not good things about how she writes the book. Or he. I don't know who Alex is. It's a unisex name. But anyway, I heard that it's not written well, but the plotline is good. But I'm going to try. I have to read it for my book club at my school. So I'm going to read this next, and I'll tell you guys about it next in my next review. So I guess I'll see you guys later. Bye!